Okay, so today we've listened to a video about Thomas Hart Benton. He was from Kansas City, Missouri. He was an art professor at the Art Institute, and he was one of the 3 people considered a regionalist artist. And a regionalist artist means they painted from the region. So most of their artwork came from the Midwest or things that were going there. He did do stuff in the South. If you look at his pictures, he went to Hollywood for a little bit, and in some of his murals, you will see that it looks like he was on a movie set. Today, we are going to focus on his landscapes. Using a pencil, I am going to start with my foreground. And one of the signatures of Thomas Hart Benton is a really curvy kind of style to his artwork. We are basing our artwork off of one of his paintings. I was going to bring it up, but I just lost it. So here is my foreground, my front line right here. I'll kind of press harder so you can see. We live in the Midwest, so I am going to have a wheat field here with a field right there. I'm going to do a background. If you want to, you can make it a sunset. You could put a sun in the background. I'm going to put a tree. Now, because he was very stylized in the way he did his work, the easiest way to make a tree is to make a Y. I'm going to have another branch coming out here. And he wasn't quite a popsicle tree, but he was a stylized. So if you can see, I made it really, I'll outline it in green so you can see it better. We know this isn't what a tree looks like. You would see all those leaves, but this is how he kind of characterized his trees. Also down here in the foreground, I will have some bushes. You can look at some of his examples, and the one that I'm looking off of, he had a few rocks up here at the beginning. We are using crayons to color these. And the thing that I love about crayons is the overlapping. So if we look at my example right here, you can see 2 different shades. You shouldn't just be using one color to color everything. There are lots of different shades of crayons. So there's 2 different yellows in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and start coloring in my tree. I am going to make this a sunset. So something you might think about is the sun is radiating. So maybe on this side, I'm going to have a little bit more yellow to kind of reflect the fact that my sun is setting. I'm going to use lots of different colors. Your tree doesn't have to be green. We are getting close to fall. So maybe you wanted to use some oranges and yellows in your tree. Again, it is very important that we use multiple colors in how we are coloring these. I am going super fast. I don't want to see scribbles. You should be coloring so you can't see any of the background of my paper when I am coloring. I said that this side was going to be my field. So I'm going to put down a layer of yellow. And then so that I get the idea of rows, I'm going to come back in this way and make my rows. If you notice, you can see the direction that I'm coloring. Thomas Hart Benton used oil paints, and he would build up layers to get colors. That's why I love oil pastels, because they really let you layer. I'm going to come back in. If you've driven past in western Kansas, you do see some of these rolling hills. I know they think Kansas is flat, but on your way to Manhattan, I'm going to add some white. I love adding white to my crayons. Again, the sunlight is hitting this side, so I'm going to make that side lighter. The trick for you will be to make each of these layers kind of a little bit different color. There are lots of different shades of green you should be able to use. There's a light green. You can mix a little blue in there. There's also a very dark green. You can use a light color at the end to give it the illusion. Things in the front are going to be close up, so you could maybe see some of the details in. I could draw in the things that are up close. I can draw some of the lines to make it look like bark. My tree's also in the front, so maybe I do want to draw a few leaves. You are coloring everything. And one of the easiest things I think to identify for Thomas Hart Benton are his clouds. They are so curvy. They have a very distinct look to them. Everything about your picture needs to be colored. I really shouldn't see any of the blue paper when you're done. You're going to keep layering colors. It can be a sunset sky. It could be a night sky. It's up to you how you do it. So today we are going to draw our image and we're going to start coloring. When we're all done, after I have this layered up, I can very easily go back and add, like if I wanted to add a fence, that's a detail. So the details would be something I make at the very end. I should have had that all colored. And the very last step we're going to have is we are going to outline all of our images. Okay, so step 1, draw. Step 2, color. Step 3 will be outlining and adding our little details. As you can see on this one, it was done like by a fall tree. There's some oranges and yellows, some highlights.